Hey there, this is my first video I'm trying. I'm going to show you how I've made some natto. So before we've gotten here, we went ahead and I soaked these mini soybeans that I bought online for about 24 hours. I then steamed them in a pressure cooker, in an Instant Pot is what I use, but you could use whatever. So I pressure steamed them for about 45 minutes and let them kind of come down to a natural release. At that point, I inoculated my cooked beans with some natto that I bought from the store. Normally, I would use bacterial inoculant or whatever that I bought from, spores, basically, for the natto that I bought from a different vendor on the internet. But I was all out of that. So I ran to the store and bought some natto from the store. I went ahead and mixed it in. You want to make sure it's below, I think it's like 105 or 110-ish. Check your stuff on the internet. I'm not an expert on this, but I've been making this for years. Started doing this during the pandemic, and have been doing it since. I eat natto for breakfast almost every day. I live here in the United States. And what I do is I spread a little bit of miso paste on some bread, and I then scoop a little bit of natto on there and put a piece of cheese on top, maybe a little bit of mayonnaise, maybe a little bit of chopped green onions, put that in the toaster oven, toast that up. It's nice and tasty. So anyways, here is my inoculated natto. I have no idea how this microphone sounds. Thanks for sticking with me if you've made it this far. Anyways, I've got a nice sterilized spoon. Also, before I put everything in here, I sterilized the bowl with some boiling water. And then I put it back in the Instant Pot on a yogurt setting and put it on that. And that keeps it around like 104, 105 or so. Sometimes it gets a little low. I also open the lid every few hours if I'm thinking about it. I believe natto is supposed to be more of an aerobic activity. So if it's too starved, I think it can increase the ammonia that's in there. It's still going to be kind of ammonia-y, I believe. Again, as I've been making it, I haven't gotten sick yet. Also, you can see I've got an array of sterilized jars and a sterilized spoon before I'm going to go ahead and mix this. So now we're going to get the money shot here of looking at what I always think reminds me of Rice Krispie squares. So yeah, there we go. It's not bad. Looks pretty good. It doesn't smell too ammonia-y. I'm having trouble saying that word. Also, the phone is right in my face here, connected to my cabinets. So maybe this is really loud. But yeah, that looks pretty good. Anyways, now here's the fun part and annoying part is I'm going to move this over here to the side. I'm going to move a jar over here. If you happen to have an AeroPress, I never, ever use this for our AeroPress. I think I used it the first time we ever bought it, like years and years ago. And instead it sits in the cabinet. So I'm glad I didn't throw it away or send it to Goodwill or something, because this is a perfect funnel for jarring up my natto. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and scoop this sticky stuff in here and get a couple loads. Sorry about all the clinking. I will just try not to whack the jar on there. And I usually get a few scoops in there and kind of squish it through the funnel. Oh, I really should not have touched this. I don't know if it's bad for sanitation probably, but also it is sticky. You can see natto is very sticky. If you're not familiar with natto, it's sort of gross. It's a well-hated and loved sort of breakfast food in Japan. I'm sure other Asian countries probably have versions of it. And then usually what I'll do is I'll scoop it in a little bit. I'll kind of get it pressed down a little bit. Sorry, this is gonna get loud. I whack it. I'll do it louder after I turn off the camera. But mash that down, keep filling, fill it up to, about most of the way to the top. Put the sterilized lid on it. I put it in the fridge for 3 to 4 days to sort of let it mellow out. And then what I'll normally do is I'll freeze 2 of these 3 jars. I've read different things about freezing natto, that it destroys the probiotic aspect of it, but I also think the vast majority of natto that Japanese people eat, I believe, come frozen. At least whatever you buy here in the States comes frozen. When I saw it in Japan when we were there, I did see it in the fresh market, in the fresh area. So maybe that doesn't happen, but anything that gets shipped over here is probably going to be frozen. So, but anyways, I figure one is not going to be frozen. Two of them will be frozen. If I lose a little bit of nutrients, oh well. Still enjoy it. How to describe it? Hard to say. I find it like somewhere kind of like a funky cheese a little bit. Definitely beany, earthy. It's a little funky. It is definitely an acquired taste, but for whatever reason, the first time I tried it was back in Colorado when I was like right out of college, like 25 years ago, and it tasted like straight up garbage to me. Like I could not believe that people would eat this. And then I took about 15, 20 years off eating it and tried it again, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then when we were in Japan, I had some at actually I had it frequently at breakfasts at hotels, and I decided I really liked it. So during the pandemic, we all needed some projects. Mine was this and kombucha, and making some kimchi as well that I've made. Maybe I'll make a video on that at some point. And yeah, just good fun probiotic stuff, fermented stuff. Maybe it's good for the gut, maybe it's not. Who knows? I'm sure it is more than it's hopefully not. But yeah, good stuff. Something fun to do. Gives me something in the morning that's not cereal or a bagel or something kind of boring. So, anyways, that's my process. I'm gonna cut here because it gets noisy and messy, and it's easier to do it without a camera. If you've got any questions about natto, feel free to ask. I probably won't have any answers, but I can at least tell you my experience. Definitely check out Emmy Made. She has an awesome video on making natto that I kind of based mine on, and like I said, it's worked great. This is probably my, I don't know, probably 10th or 12th batch at minimum. It's got to be more than that because I've bought 2 packets of 5 for the inoculant. Anyways, probably 15 to 20 times I've maybe made it. Yeah, just kind of keep working through it. All right, we're back with a little bit of a prelude. You can see here I've got 3 jars packed to the top, kind of spread it out with a spoon a little bit. It gets pretty slimy, like I said. So a couple things I realized I didn't say during the first part is that I do, when I do the fermenting in the yogurt setting, I do it for about 18 to 20 hours or so. I have gone as long as 24. I don't know if it really makes that much of a difference. But we'll also see here, right, we've got a little bit of our remaining natto. You got a little, like, okay strings. It gets better as you go with some time. And then really just like a little ball in this little bowl. So some other ways to eat it. Like I said, I always eat natto toast or not toast on a regular basis because it's quick and easy. I can crank through it in the morning. You can also just like, if you're eating it straight, you want to flavor it with something. This has no salt or anything in it. It's just beans and inoculant and spores, basically. So it has its own taste, but it doesn't have the salt that you're going to want. So you definitely want some, if you buy natto from the store, it's going to come in a little styrofoam pack. Part of the reason I started making this is because I didn't want to just have all that waste of that styrofoam, and why spend money shipping and all that stuff and more energy getting things across when I can make most of it here, and also quite a bit cheaper, right? So like a giant bag of beans, is not nothing, but like I can't imagine these jars cost more than a couple dollars each once I've invested in the stuff. So, but you want something else in it flavoring wise. Some other ways I'll eat it. Like this morning I made an omelet with mushrooms and onions and natto. It was pretty tasty. Sometimes I'll just do natto and cheese in an omelet. Traditional way is going to be natto and rice. And you're not going to be able to see me eat this because I'm behind the camera. But traditionally you'd put this on rice with like a raw egg, and I will say that I've had that, and it is fantastic. Or at least like a partially cooked egg, but in Japan, my experience is, and you'll see this all over the internet, lots of people are eating raw egg over there. I would not recommend that in the States or in most other countries unless you are very confident about your eggs. The last bit is, if you're not that familiar with natto, check it out on the internet. Find out there's all sorts of health benefits besides like good probiotic health, gut health. It's supposedly also really good for your heart. I guess partially that's part of the reason I suppose I eat it. And another tip is, just check out some videos. People do all sorts of fun natto reviews. The Tabby Eats guys have a really pretty fun series where they eat a bunch of different natto from different places. They gave me the tip of when you're cleaning up, right? Cleaning the stuff up is a kind of gross. This stuff, as you can see, is pretty slimy and boogery, and it is pervasive. It'll get all over things. So their recommendation is do not use soap while you're cleaning up initially. Just run hot water on everything. You'll see it'll kind of rinse away. Use the hot water to get rid of all the main slime, and then you can wash it with soap as normal. They said it's particularly important with plastic. I don't know the science behind this, but they said there's something about the molecular like aspects of plastic and natto and soap, and that you can kind of like bond things in a way that you really don't want to. So yeah, hot water first, and I hope you enjoy. This is Matt from Matt and Rachel, normally a podcast. You can check us out on Instagram at _podcast, or you've probably already found our YouTube channel here. And I hope you enjoy. All right, thanks.